Happy Monday. Happy Mamba Day, everyone. And welcome, because this is a special episode here today, folks. It is a special one for me because, I'm, born and raised in LA, and it's a special one for me because, it is for the man who gave us that mentality, who gave us, that encouragement, the words that we need to express ourselves every day to encourage to do better for ourselves and for our lives. And I'm wearing the jersey for that reason. And happy Mamba Day to the legend himself, to a 5-time NBA world champion. And man, here on this special episode of Circle the Baseball, I'm by myself, of course. And this is called episode 22. This is called Mamba Mentality. So we're gonna go ahead and just recap Raw, what just happened. You already saw what Raw Dogging with Dom and Friends with Benefits already discussed about. But I think my recap on that, TNA lockdown review, and who is your top five talent that has the Mamba mentality. So in the dedication for this man, because I am wearing his jersey right here, gotta play this and then we'll hit the intro. Follow this man.
Go after your dreams, right? Go after it. I never compromised that. I never allowed anybody to tell me what I was capable of accomplishing. I never let anybody tell me that I can't do, right? I went after it. If you want to accomplish something or do something that a lot of people think is difficult to accomplish, you have to put all your eggs in one basket, and there's no compromise. Doubt is such a strange thing. There'll be times where you succeed and there are times that you fail. Wasting your time doubting whether you're going to be successful or not is pointless. And you just put one foot in front of the other, you control what you can't control, and then you see what the outcome is, right? If you win, great. You're going to have to wake up the next day and do the journey over again. If you lose, it sucks, but you're going to have to wake up the next day and do the journey all over again anyway. If you want to play at an excellent level, if you want to do something excellent, you have to be excellent all the time. It's a way of life. It's not just I show up on Monday and be excellent. No, it don't work that way. You got to be excellent across the board, right? And that's how you build habits. When excellence becomes a habit, then that's just who you are. The fact of the matter is I'm still trying to get better. Make sure that you put your mind to it and go at it 110%. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Not only academically, but whether it's athletically, you have to go at it 110%. Don't let anybody tell you can't do something. The only person that can stop you from accomplishing something is yourself.
Let's go! It's time to be the GOAT. It's time to enter God mode, man, let's get it going. I wanna be the greatest, energy is overflowing. I know I'm stoking the fire, my desire's taking over, Not tired, I'm inspired, rewired. I know just what is required. My brain knows how to decipher the messages, looking brighter. Already paid up the pipe, but my game is getting much tighter. I feel my body on fire, I hope you're ready for battle. You better get on the saddle. We got some demons to tackle, yeah. We about to put on a show. These haters don't even know. They're in too deep like a hole. And they about to find out what it means when you enter into my house. How it feels when you always seem to strike out. Cause I don't lose, no I win, I go all out. So we'll keep fighting till the end. And we'll keep fighting till we win. This is our calling, this is our calling. Yeah, we'll keep fighting till the end.
That's right, folks, and welcome for a special episode here on the flagship show, Circle Debate, folks. The host will have to see by himself, of course, folks. It's only just me, just you, me, and I, because it's it's a special day for me because it's Happy Mamba Day. That's what it is. It's 8/24. I'm trying to cry. I do miss that man. That man really motivates. So that's why I'm wearing his jersey today. I'm wearing his jersey right here. But folks, again, welcome and appreciate you all for tuning in and listening around the world, the audio platforms all around the world. But yes, just wanted to go ahead and like I said, this is a special one for me because I wanted to kind of do it. It just came and just, oh my God, it's Mama Day. So rest in peace, Kobe, for sure. Much love, Steven. Appreciate you, my brother. No Pepsi Field today, folks. Fortunately, he had an appointment, so he was not able to come in today. But hopefully he'll be joining us back on Thursday, or we'll go ahead and review Dynamite and give our preview for All In London on Thursday, hopefully before TNA, the fallout for lockdown. So, but folks, yes, I'm here. So just gonna go ahead and do I would say like a 30-minute show. Not that knock it out of the park, but let's talk about what happened on Monday Night Raw. It just happened just about almost an hour ago. We had unexpected appearance that we had today on Raw. Did not expect what we saw here on Monday Night Raw, but I can tell you the matches that we had, which was in the semifinals of the number one contendership for Roman Reigns for Raw on September 14th, which you had Dragon Lee and Rey Fenix stole the show. I'll tell you that. They did a fantastic job. Love it. Back and forth. And I was honestly, I'm not going to lie to you folks, I was kind of expecting that the E will not push the trigger for them to give us the match that I think a lot of people have seen, in Lucha Underground, have seen, in other indies, other promotions. But man, and absolutely, Steven, the Luchadors killed it tonight. They really put up a heck of a show tonight. Shout out to all 4 Luchadors, Dragon Lee, Rey Fenix, Penta La Parca. They did fantastic. Loved the match. Now you have Penta and Rey Fenix in the finals for the number one contendership, and that will happen next week on Raw, which that's going to be the hell of a banger show we cannot miss, because that is, man, it's a tough one. Who's going to win that one? I'll tell you that. But Rey Fenix got a lot up his sleeves, because tomorrow on NXT he has to defend his Cruiserweight AAA Championship versus EK Prosper, and that's going to be one hell of a match that I'm excited to see. And where's that going to be the outcome of it? Because that's going to be another banger match for tomorrow. Rey Fenix has been having bangers and bangers and bangers, just like his brother. And I'm glad that at least TKO was able to see that. And it took long enough for them to give this man an opportunity and to showcase his immortality, his Mamba mentality of what it is dedication of wrestling here in the WWE. And absolutely, it's going to be a banger tomorrow, Steven. I can tell you that. So I'm really excited to see that's going to be next week on Raw, and excited for tomorrow, Rey Fenix versus EK Prosper. That's going to be a match that I can't wait to see. And speaking of September 14th, looks like she's making her debut in Mexico, and that is Lola Vice. She will be making her debut on Raw, and that will be another epic right there for her, as she is now officially in the main roster starting on September 14th. So the call-ups are happening. So it looks like the shakeup is happening, looks like already, folks. And that's what we're going to get here. We're going to get the shakeups for this. And this is where I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to see.
So definitely trying to get my mic, folks, if you can hear me, because my mic here been acting up a little bit, but try to get it going here. So yeah. So definitely, I'm definitely excited. I'm excited to see what's that going to happen to be. How's that going to be for Lola Vice making her debut on Raw? That's going to be something exciteful, and we're going to see how's that going to turn out to be. And good return match for Stephanie Valkyrie, making her in-ring return since Mania. Came back from the injury. Of course, she took a long break after Mania, and now making her in-ring return against Roxanne Perez. What a great choice for her to get her momentum good. Oh, thank you. I appreciate my brother. And good matchup between them two. Great psychology as well. As they started slow, I know everybody was okay. Why is she started slow? But you got to give Stephanie her chance. She has to get, she had to get the rhythm back again. And throughout the show, throughout the middle of the match, she did. She ended up getting the rhythm back. Basics moves, but hey, it's just a start. And then that's where we had the Judgment Day Liv and Raquel getting involved, Becky coming out and basically kind of making the save in a way. And even though Stephanie didn't want her help, but it looks like it is going to happen in 2 weeks. She will get her rematch. And so that's going to be something that, yes, Steven, we might, I don't know if they're going to put them as a tag team, but if they're saying in 2 weeks, so basically that's going to be after Sunday Night Main Event. And I'm surprised they're not saving it for the 14th. So that's going to be something I'm going to see. Serena, howdy. How are you? Had to refresh it. Didn't go live for me. Oh, I know. Because I hit it like last, this is my moment here, last moment. But good stuff for that. And I was really excited for that. And from there, This is where look, Jacob Fatu looked like he was frustrated. He was already getting frustrated with the Usos, like, yo, look, we're the captains. We got the Black Evil followers. He didn't give a shit. He's like, no. But he's still not going to listen to their punk asses because he only listens to the tribal chief himself. So I don't know where this is going to go with Jacob Fatu. It sucks because he's put in a situation that is like he's put like on a pedestal. You're not using that man. You kind of are killing his momentum because the fact is that before he even got to that level of being part of the bloodline, he was already having momentum after leaving MFT. And then from there, he just happened there's a pedestal. And that's an unfortunate. And it shouldn't be that way for that. It's just, yeah, I just hope so too, Stephen. It's a matter of time that Jacob goes to his face again. And I hope it does. Biggest question is, will he join Jacob Fatu in LA Knight? Maybe. I don't think so. He might just go lone wolf here. Maybe by Money in the Bank. Possibly he would probably go to Money in the Bank. But also the surprising what happened here Monday Night Raw. The surprising was to see did not expect that. Did not expect at all. Did not expect Royce Keys making his return, masked up. Look, for a second, we thought it was Dark State. Wait a minute, is this Dark State? What the hell's going on here? Turns out it was OTM. So, since Bronco got kicked out on Saturday from Perros del Mal, after he lost to Penta on AAA Saturday, he got kicked out basically from Perros del Mal. He can't run with his legacy, so he got kicked out. And then this turned out to be. So this is a new faction here that we have between Royce Keys and OTM, which congratulations to OTM. If they got called up to the main roster, now they're going to be officially now on Raw. So that's what I'm saying, folks. This is a shakeup that we're getting. This is a shakeup that we are actually getting now from the rosters that are being called up from NXT, moved around to a different brand, and this is the beginning of it that we're going to get for it. Down the line, I feel like later on we're going to end up getting a lot of shuffles and a lot of absences that possibly that we may be not seeing renewing the contracts. Is what the rumor windows are saying. There's a lot of upcoming this fall of talent. They're not going to be renewing the contract. They won't be renewed, or they're going to just be like, let it go. Go ahead. You're gone. So this could be the case here that we're getting another shakeup, unfortunately. So that's going to be something. Yes, talk about Mamba Mentality, OPC. That's right, baby. Mamba Mentality all day, right here. That's what I'm wearing the shirt. Kobe, baby, Kobe. And so that's about talk about Mamba Mentality right there, Chef. Seeing that mentality that Royce Keys with, not on his own, came with these two incredible athletes from NXT, which they are. OTM for me, they needed that kind of push, and now that they're going to be in the main roster, I'm excited. What are they going to do? And really, really excited of what Royce Keys is going to do with that faction. So it's going to be very intriguing to see. And I get maybe you're right. Maybe Jacob and Knight solo versus Keys at OTM. Maybe we could get that a Sunday night main event. We don't know where we're going to get that. So that's going to be something that we're going to have to wait and see of what that's going to be the outcome of it. So that's good. That's something that I'm invested to see of what they're going to turn out to be. So it's going to be very exciting to see the future for OTM. Now they're going to be a part of Raw alongside with Lola Vice. So this is going to be something that, oh man, this is going to be it's a good Raw. You really got to give a good Raw a 4.5 out of 5. It was great Raw. It was not much promos. And seeing Javon getting, of course, aggressive now. Earlier, we saw him attacking the Judgment Day of Dom and JD McDonald's. We saw the aggressiveness. So it's coming out. It's just, that's one person. I'm like, what are you doing, man? This kid has nothing but great talent, great charisma. And I would just push him to another level. Then seeing Chad Gable with Ethan Page. Looks like we got Chad Gable's next challenger. This could be Ethan Page here. So, which is going to be good. I think it's going to be a good, very intriguing match between these two, which I'm going to really get excited to see where they're going to go, the outcome of that. Down the line later, we might get them maybe at Money in the Bank, or maybe we might get it in Mexico on September 14th on Monday Night Raw. So we just going to have to wait and see what's going to be the outcome of that. And so Keys is Steven saying the Keys is taking OTM under the wing will do the OTM some good. Yes. They would. Absolutely, they would. Indeed. Indeed, my brother. So that's going to be something that we're going to have, that we're just going to be seeing where the development goes as this continues in between them. So excited to see, and I can't wait. These next upcoming weeks, I know they're going to be live earlier, sometimes pre-recorded because it's a holiday weekend. They're really going to give their staff some, the weekend off coming up, and so that's what they're recording. As of why they did it early today, Stevens mentioned last week that they're recording SmackDown tonight as well, following Raw. So that's going to be pre-recorded heading into which is going to be for Friday on live on here in North America. So that's good. That's good excitement for Raw. Good stuff. Good stuff. I'm really excited to see where they're going to go with this. Question is, what are you going to do with Lola Vice? Who's her first feud? Who is she going to face? That is the biggest question here. So I'm invested to see what they're going to do with her. Are they going to have her as a heel? Is they going to have her a face? So that's one thing that I'm really invested to see. What are they going to do with Lola Vice now when she heads to Raw on September 14th in Mexico, making her debut? So it's very exciting to see. And you could especially add her into the Intercontinental mix along with Ruka. And so this is going to be a challenge for Raquel Rodriguez. Now they're going to have Raquel maybe have a great challenge, a great lineup for her Intercontinental Championship, which I hope she does. I hope that they need to start pushing those mid-card titles for the women. We got to start seeing something, especially for SmackDown. We haven't seen much of SmackDown. It's just the beginning of it. Now that we have JC Jane, who has the U.S. Championship. So we're going to have to see who's going to be next to go in line for that championship and what's going to be the shape up for that as well. Since they're going to be doing this, calling up people from NXT to the main roster, who's going to be next in SmackDown? Who's going to be moved from Raw to SmackDown? There's a lot of questions on that. So definitely going to be invested on that. So let's move on with TNA lockdown that happened as well, folks, that happened 24 hours ago. And shout out to Brandon, of course, for our boy, our family member, B-Dog, on the holding it down Discord and putting it up there for us exclusively to see there on Discord, folks. Make sure you join the Discord, the community. Come and join us there. You have exclusive content that you're able to see alongside with us. But shout out to B-Dog for hosting TNA Lockdown. TNA Lockdown was not a bad show. It was actually a great show. I really enjoyed it. We got now the call. We got new signees here in TNA. We got the Joe Alonso that of course beat Hometown Man up in the before going live for the AEW Championship. So now he's officially signed with TNA. So congratulations to Joe Alonso. Congratulations to Kiera Hogan, who was the mystery partner for Ali in defending the Knockouts Tag Team Championships versus the Elegance brand. And good stuff. Great matchup. Good to see Kiera Hogan. And now we made sense why we saw the sceneries that we saw, the IRS, us, Stephen, Rusty, and I saw this last couple of weeks in Impact. So we forgot that Kiera was in the Underworld as well. So congratulations for her. I know she took about a year off and now got herself in somewhere to be now. I know she's been doing in the independent circus, and now she is officially signed with TNA. So I'm excited for her. Congratulations for her. So it was a good pickup for TNA for Anthem. Even though the loss hurts of losing Mara Sade, not her resigning, but this is a good pickup for her. And what is up, David Real? What's going on? David Jr. John Cena, Buck Raw. I just passed Raw, but I know they didn't talk about the Oba and Braun Breaker one. But that one, I'm just gonna wait. I'm not jumping the gun on that one because something tells me, hate to be the bad juju, but something tells me we're gonna end up getting the no contest between Braun and Oba. They're going to save that down the line. They're going to keep continuing to do that for us, unfortunately. That's what I see what has happened in this case. But speaking of TNA lockdown, and also the new signee, who a lot of people are not really in the community are kind of happy about the signee. This is where the word of the day that everybody's been using for the last 24 hours is nepotism. Because you have two talents that based on they didn't pay their prices, to pay their dues, and they're already getting signed up. Avery Styles, the son of AJ Styles, is officially signed with TNA. And then you had another one prior, Zilla Fatu made his debut in NXT. So I know that it's a debate between that, but honestly, what is the debate about? If right here, and keep in mind, folks, people that has grown within the family and has got into the business because of the family, the family tree. So what? Let it be. Let him be. And they have already paid their dues of what they have done in the indies. I know it's not a lot for Avery, and I'm not disregarding that, but heck, this is a great start for him. He idolized, I mean, obviously he idolizes and seen his father wrestled, and how he mentioned back in 2005, his father made his debut in TNA. And from there, he took it to another whole world, and he did. AJ Styles did a lot of things that a lot of people cannot understand, that he took TNA to another level. Not just, he led the team along with the rest of the team and the rest of the other, of course, at that time with, Jarrett and, Shamrock and Ron Killings and Joe Daniels, Kazarian. They really helped that promotion to get their name out there. And they made the X division to be where it is currently today. And if it wasn't for them, then Mr. McNugget would not bring back the cruiserweight division on SmackDown when he's like, I gotta bring this back now. What's the cruiserweight? So now he brought it back, and so if it wasn't for the Phenomenal One himself, and he did a great stuff for TNA, then New Japan, and WWE, so he paid his dues. His son, he's gonna start paying his dues. Don't feel like he's not. He's going to pay his dues down the line. This kid is going to learn how to be in front of a national television audience, besides the audiences he's surrounded with. This kid has potential. His charisma, give him time. He's going to get there. But I know people are debating here as well that since also in lockdown, folks, as well, we had AJ Francis getting the win against Elijah, which was unfortunate. Elijah, it was a good matchup, great start for that event. Great athleticism between them two. AJ with that moonsault, what he did on top. Oh man. Hey, don't be sleeping on AJ Francis, folks. I'm telling you, I think Steven, Rusty, and I have been saying he is gonna be the next TNA world champion. And mark my word, give that man the King of the Mountain, him winning that championship belt, people are gonna go ape shit. But we're gonna be happy for him because he's gonna prove to people wrong, that his charisma, his in-ring ability can do something, and he doesn't have to do much for a big man because he could just tell a story by giving us moves of a suplex, a body slam, basics, and getting the people pissed off. That's the point. The point is to put asses on seats. That is the main point psychologically to get that. What up, D-Man? Appreciate you for joining. And we also had, unfortunate, I know people were, the hometown girl, Ilana Black in Chicago was really, really pushing it hard to win that TNA Knockouts World Championship. Did not happen. Xia Brookside becoming more evil than what she's already as a heel. And there you go. She has retain her Knockouts Championship. But the one thing that we just don't understand, during that matchup, we had Indy Hartwell looking at the match herself, like, okay, she wants to get back at the top of the mountain of getting the Knockouts Championship. But how, if you didn't even win the tournament for the television, championship that we're going to crown this Thursday on Impact, which will be Jada Stone versus by Elegance in the finals of the first ever Knockouts Women's Television Championship. So we're excited to see who's going to be crowned first on that. And man, I could tell you that it was a great matchup between them two. She busted Ilana very open. So, but unfortunately, like I said, Ilana couldn't get the win. So we're gonna have to see the fallout this Thursday of what's gonna be for that. Are we gonna see maybe down the line maybe a triple threat match? This is gonna involve Indy Hartwell in this matter. Are we gonna see no more contendership between Indy versus Alana? So we just have to wait and see where this is gonna go with. Will Yan Ling return that day? Maybe we could get a 4-way. We just don't know what this is gonna be. So, and Goodfella, what is good? It was actually good. It wasn't like the best or the worst. It was just good. But Alana was busted open. Great selling, great. It was great storytelling. I can tell you that in a way. It wasn't like it wasn't like hey. And yes, Flop Dollar. Hey, that Flop Dollar is gonna be a champion soon, D-Man. I'll tell you that. And Chef, you're saying some people are starting to mess with AJ Styles about being arrogant, being a TNA. I didn't see that from him at all. My third eye never picked that up at all. Likewise, Chef, I didn't pick that from him either. When he was introduced and he officially announced that he's signing in TNA, he seemed like he was, with confidence and humbleism that he is. He wanted to come somewhere where his father started. He wanted to follow his father's footsteps, and which he's doing. And so I don't see he did anything wrong, and I'm so happy that he came here along, and very, very excited to see what he's going to bring into the ring. And he's going to learn. I tell you that he is definitely going to learn. And I know we had Kazarian telling, "Oh yeah, about your father. We go way back with the history." So I know Frankie eventually is going to try to take him under his wing, but we'll see if that will happen in the line. But speaking of Frank Kazarian, him versus Moose, who's the king of TNA? Kazarian with the win, stepped out of the cage, and that was unexpected. But hey, it happened. It happened. So I think the feud is not over between Moose and Frankie Kazarian. I can tell you this is just the start of it. So we're gonna have to see where this is gonna end up for sure. There's got to be a trilogy with these two men, and I'm gonna give them both props because the match was not bad at all either. It was actually a good match between them two. A lot of great maneuvers that they did towards each other. So it was really a really good matchup between Moose and Frank Kazarian. So congratulations for them for putting up a performance. Good stuff. But speaking of performance, man. Let's talk about, of course, the TNA International Championship. Jason Hodge and Mustafa Ali. That was match of the night. Match of the night. Amazing. It was an incredible match between these two. Great storytelling. Storytelling in the ring that I will highly recommend for you guys to go back and see. Because there was a couple botches there that I know that it was kind of scary. Especially this power drive maneuver that he kind of missed, and Mustafa landed on his head, and then Hodge landed his feet on top of Mustafa's head. So he's okay and recovering. I know he's sore for that. But there was a movement there that Hodge, from the top of the cage, jumped off into Mustafa Ali in through the table. Man, that was wow. And throughout the matchup, Mustafa taking away the toy from his kid, because his wife was right there with the daughter, and then of course taking away the daughter's toy and really stomping on it, about to Mila Moore passing him a little switchblade knife, about to cut the toy in pieces, but not Jason Hodge prevented that, and it was just a great storytelling. And unfortunately, even throughout the matchup, he was trying to cheat already, but Tasha Steelz prevented that, and she closed the gate. She closed the cage and told Mustafa, "Better get your ass in there and fight." And then throughout that matchup, that's when Hodge was trying to do a kind of a spear to Mustafa. And Mustafa moved out of the way. The cage hit the door, hit Tasha Steelz, dropping her down. That's where John Skyler took her backstage, carried her outside of the backstage. But man, Mustafa regaining the international championship. So it's a good match of the night, folks. I would really highly recommend to go see that match. Great storytelling at his best there between them. It was amazing to see. And after that, we did see John Skyler coming out and carrying Hodge to the back. Put his hand, put his shoulder over on his shoulder, and then just carrying him back. And I was waiting. Well, I thought he was going to do a Ciampa and Gargano NXT takeover style, dropping him right in the back of the head or on top of the stage, but on the ring entrance. But he didn't do none of that. So it was a clean match. Oh yeah, that's for sure, good fella. You got to go back and see it. It was a good matchup, man. That was amazing. I loved it. That was match of the night. Shout out to Mustafa Ali, putting always banger matches, man. Banger matches. Then we had the lethal lockdown between the System, versus Ricky Sosa versus Rich Swan. And I keep forgetting who was the other, Fabian Aichner, Jada Steele versus System. Good matchup. Him and Alicia and Jada Stone in a part. Both of them Jada Stone superplexing Alicia Edwards into the thumbtacks. They both were really, it was a disaster. I can tell you that, but it was a great matchup too. Good matchup between them two. And unfortunately, the System with the win, got the win. And so they survived the lethal lockdown. So we're going to see what's going to be the fallout for that too. And also, another matchup that I would say was second matchup of the night was the X Division Championship, Cedric Alexander versus Leon Slater. Good matchup. And this was a legacy versus, being the longest winning championship on the line. And Leon Slater with the win and hitting his finisher like 3 different times on Cedric. First, he did the lumbar check 3 times to Cedric. And just to keep in mind, this stipulation, folks, was a last man standing match. So there was no pinfall, no submission. Last man standing match. And they both beat the crap out of each other. Busted them both open. Great matchup between these two. Another best match number 2 of the night for TNA Lockdown. And from there, after Leon hit the lumbar check on Cedric, his own finisher 3 different times. He hit his finisher 3 different times. And then the count was 10 as he was trying to get up. Cedric was getting up 9 and he fell. And then that was it. Leon regains and keeps his legacy going as the longest reigning X Division champion. So it was amazing. So congrats to Leon Slater. Then we had the main event, which we had the main event. The Hardys defending the TNA Tag Team Championships versus the Nemesis Brothers. And unfortunately, of course, we have new TNA Tag Team Champions of the Nemesis Brothers. But a surprise happened here in this one. A surprise came out here, and it was surprising. Leon Slater walking in there and say, look, I've created my legacy. I've done what I've done with this title. So I am here to announce that I will be doing my option C as Carlos Silva was walking up there, Slater giving him the X Division Championship. And now it is official as we're going to get it. Leon Slater versus Nick Nemes at Bound for Glory for the TNA World Championship. So it looks like Leon ain't going nowhere. This could be the sign that he resigned. Maybe, folks. We don't know fully because this could be a different scenario on this situation. If Leon Slater loses to Nick Nemes at Bound for Glory, then we could see maybe he's probably leaving the company and maybe going either to the E or to the A. He could go either one. He has teased about, saying Wembley, love Wembley, miss you out there, because he is from the UK. So, E, great partnership that they had TNA and E at the time was Leon. We got to see the anticipated match between Javon and Leon, but unfortunately it ended the no contest because of Dark State. That was last year's Bound for Glory. So maybe this year could be maybe this year could Leon come down to the E and go straight to the main roster, not heading to NXT. We don't know if he does not win the TNA World Championship at Bound for Glory. But they're going to have a whole month to tell this story between Slater and Nemes. And they can tell a great story. And they can. They got a whole month starting this week all the way to October to build Bound for Glory's main event. And I believe they could do it. Nemes, of course, he is your veteran when it comes to promos, especially on promos, besides the ring. You got a veteran like him who could take this and make it to another level. He did it for Navarro, to be honest with you. And it was a great match between him and Navarro, too. So this is going to be something that I'm really excited to see between Nemes and Leon Slater, what is going to turn out to be. So a lot of things are happening in TNA that it just I'm hoping that it starts picking up for them because, like I said, we don't wish bad for no promotion. We want them to continue, but I know the people that owns it doesn't really put their 120% on their product because they just don't care. And it sucks because us fans care about these talents that puts their bodies on the lines to entertain us almost every other day, every week, for us to be entertained of what they provide to us. And it's an unfortunate that they don't get treated with a lot of more respect. And you got to give it down to all the talents in TNA. They did a fantastic job, did a great job of giving us a great pay-per-view of TNA Lockdown. And so we're going to see the outcome of it. Of course, with Rosemary, yes, you heard that she was injured during during an independent circuit called Fire Show, where she was legitimately hurt, is not cleared to come to wrestle. So it looks like we don't know when she's going to be coming back in action. So I guess in the meantime, Kiera Hogan and Ali will be your Knockouts Tag Team Champions until further notice. We still don't know what's the future now holding for the Exhibition Championship. Are we going to get an X match at Bound for Glory? Who will be crowning the next Exhibition Champion? Will there be a tournament? So there's a lot of questions that I'm excited to see this Thursday's impact of where this is going to lead to for all of that. And what's going to be the fallout, the outcome of that. So that's something that I'm excited to see, folks. But like I mentioned, in regards for the nepotism of, like I said, Zilla and Avery Styles, let them be, folks. There's no need of debate on that. If your family runs with professional wrestling, does something with it, then let them be. They're not bothering anybody, but they're paid their dues. This is, they're paying the dues either. They paid to be prior, or they're going to currently pay it now, and they're going to pay it now with these dues, being on national television, being internationally, not just in North America. They got to prove themselves to see if they're willing to be up to the level where their family has been. Can they take it? And that's what it's all about. It's about all of that, folks. It's all about that. You can't compare that because it's like more like you're saying about like back then, which is what. Tell me back then and back in the days, they were really getting recruiting NBA players leaving high school going straight to the NBA, did not go to college, but they made it happen, right? So hey, everybody has their dreams and has really their goals that they're going to get to, and so let them be. There shouldn't be no debate about this nepotism. Honestly, there shouldn't be. If it runs, it's like you're saying that is almost you're insulting the Hart family, saying that you're insulting, the Gagne family. You're insulting, a lot of the Rotunda family. It's just like you're just insulting them because they were given that nepotism to go there. It's like no, they're paying their dues, and and you got to give it to one of you, like I said. One I could mention, everybody could say nepotism. Oh, yeah, because you're Ric Flair's daughter, Charlotte Flair. But look what she's done in her career. She has done it and really made herself of someone, to become someone, and has done that fantastically. And, man, that's the one thing that I'm really proud of Charlotte Flair. She's becoming herself, becoming more who she really is. So now, last topic of the night, folks, for me. So, obviously, of course, by myself. Said Mamba Mentality, baby. That's just what it's about. Which is the biggest question for everybody here in the chat. Name me top 5 talents that has this man's mentality. Who has this man's charisma, this man's encouragement? Name me who has the Mamba mentality in professional wrestling. Who has it? Of course, just to identify everybody what Mamba mentality is, of course, it's a philosophy of relentless self-improvement, extreme work ethic, and total focus on the process of becoming the best version of yourself. That's what Mamba mentality is about. And thanks to this man, Kobe Bryant, who brought that to everyone and encouraged a lot of us to feel that way. And I got encouraged because of him, of doing what I like to do here. If you like something, do it. Work on it. And, every morning when you wake up, you look at yourself and what can I do better today to improve myself, for myself? There's no competition for others, but within yourself to become better, to work the ethic up there. And that's what it's about. And that's why this man is one of my admirations and inspired me to do here what I do here for myself and for especially for everyone here that are listening, that are watching, because I love that. It's the passion that I have for it. So that's my inspiration. This man's inspiring words continues to inspire me to be better every day, no matter what. It's always look at yourself and say, what can I do better to improve myself today? And you will succeed. You will succeed to that. So the biggest question for y'all is here, and I'll give you my top 5, but who is, and I'll write it down here because I believe that no one knows really what I'm talking about. So I'll put it here. Let's see. So who in pro wrestling, let's see, what talents, top 5 talents that has the Mamba mentality. So name me that, folks. Name me top 5 talents that has the Mamba mentality. And this is professional wrestling. It doesn't have to be one product. It could be every other product. But I can tell you mine's number 1 for me. Well, I'll start from 5 to 1. 5 to me, who has the Mamba mentality, who really has that encouragement to push himself better and better and better, and has done it and is ready to do something to become better. And that is, for sure, is Cruz Montana, Mike Santana. He has that mentality. He does it for himself, for his family, to become better of what he is doing to himself, for himself on a daily basis. He changed his ways of his old habits, and creating new habits of winning, of improvement. And that's what this man done. Great storytelling, what he did at TNA, winning the TNA World Championship, coming now to the NXT, to TKO, to WWE, and he's going to prove that as well. He is going to prove that, and that is for sure. Definitely for sure. My number 4 that I would say that has that Mamba mentality, that really just continues to progress to be better every day in the ring, does not want to give up. And that for me, honestly, will be Tatum Paxley. Paxley she's been waiting for a long time to get where she's at now at the main roster, and now she's there. And I'm so happy for her that she has got to that level and is there. And I'm very, she worked her ass off to get where she's at. And I can't wait for the future for that woman, of what she's going to do. I can't wait of what she's going to bring, that mentality, because I know that she does and look at herself every day to how to improve, how to be better, what I need to do better. And that's what it's about. And has done it. Has got us really great storytellings in NXT. She's going to have a great storytelling here in SmackDown. I can't wait for her. She has that mentality. So that is for sure. My number 3 that I would say that has that momentum, that really has that Mamba mentality to get better on a daily basis in the ring, is my girl, Diva Van. It's another one who works her ass off to be improving every day in the ring, outside of the ring, for improvement in her ring abilities, always learning something new every day and learning something from herself every day. And she has done that since the day 1 that I seen her, PCW Ultra, seeing her at the dojo, seeing her in other SoCal, even up in Oakland, seeing her more in the Defy, seeing what she's done in the Midwest, in the East. She has done it. Even what she's done in Spain and pushing and helping and inspiring the talent up in Vietnam. Now, Vietnam has a great wrestling promotion, and that's encouragement. That's Mamba mentality. That's really right there, work ethic at its best. And now that she is part of AEW, she's been a part of AEW for quite some time. She's been, being with Ring of Honor, coming in Dynamite, coming Collision. This woman has worked her butt off to be where she's at. She will soon be a world champion. I'm telling you that right now. She will be a world champion. That's a fact. So she is going to get there. Definitely. And shout out to her because there's much love. Much love. She has that Mamba mentality. I tell you that. Zamaya is another one that I can mention. Zamaya has another one too, where I've met her as well in the independent circuit. She really developed herself tremendously great. You know, she put herself in great shape. You know, she got more physically, more, you know, better, bigger than what she was prior. She focused on herself to get that mentality as well, to get herself better. And she's done it in the ring. She's doing it right now in MOW. She is doing fantastic. And I'm so happy for that woman. She deserves it. And I cannot wait when someone, either TNA, AEW, WWE, heck, even Stardom, even AAA, even NXT, call her up and get ready to sign that woman because she deserves to get a contract because she is ready. She is ready. I feel like she is ready to become, and what she is here for me and for fans, a star, but to be a mega star, she is ready for that. She is 100% ready for that. Another encouragement that encouraged people, Darby Allin. Darby Allin is an encourager. He encourages a lot of talents and a lot of kids around the world that come sees him. Yeah, he's a risk taker. You know, he's done it all, folks. That, you know, you're just like, no, that's too dangerous. But in the end, for him winning the world championship, even though it could have been, the winning could have been better, but it was still, he proved to the world that if he could do it, you could do it too. And became a fighting champion of what he is. And he has done as a world champion. And he proved that no matter what shaping you're in, no matter what physicality you look like, you do not feel discouraged, and no one can tell you you can't do it just because you don't fit the looks. It's not about the looks. It's about here, the heart and the soul and the love and the passion that you have for the sport of professional wrestling. And that man proved it to the whole world. And I give him a lot that he has that mentality. He has a mentality to to improve himself and to prove himself special, what he can do on a daily basis. And that's a for sure fact. You know, and another one I can mention, I know I probably went out of topic with the top 5. There's a lot of people that I feel that for me that I kind of feel like has that mentality. And one of them for sure, I know that maybe he doesn't follow him, at all, or I don't know. I can't question that, but my number one guy is Will Ospreay. Ospreay, his conditions, how he really fought for himself in professional wrestling, how he started, and and the way how people look up to that man, and especially his conditions that he has, and that man was proving to the world that this is a gift that is given to you, that you could still do it. You still could have that work ethic. You could still succeed without even if that gift that is given to you and maybe different from others, but that doesn't mean you can't do it of what others could do. You could do it. And that's what that man is doing currently, proving to the world that he could be a top star, even with a title or without a title. And that man has done it. Ospreay is the guy, definitely. And like how Steven said, yeah, I mean, his is right here. His is Kyle Fletcher, Takesha, Ospreay, Oba, and Braun. I agree. All of those are top notch, Steven, 100%. They all have that mentality. Kyle Fletcher's another one that has that mentality, that really has that. Willow Nightingale has that mentality, I would say. And man, Jada Parker has that mentality. Kalani Jordan has that mentality that I can mention too. I could see that even Persephone has that. I could see that from her, and I could definitely see Maya World has that too, and Tekla is another one, and she's proven to it. And, Tekla, and another person, besides Will Ospreay, would say Mark Briscoe. Mark Briscoe has gone through. He's gone through a roller coaster in his life, but this man doesn't give up. And when this man doesn't give up, that means he doesn't give up. And he proves to the world that he could do it. And that man has done it. And that man is really another guy right there that has that work ethic, that has that Mamba mentality, and not to give up and continue to push forward and push more and push more and push more. Javon Evans is another one as well that I can mention. E.K. Prosper is another one. Miles Bourne, Tavion Heights. A lot of these kids that are up, some veterans and some kids, they are hungry and they want to be at the top. And they have that. They definitely have that. Kyle O'Reilly is another one I know Steven mentioned. Yes, definitely Kyle O'Reilly. Roderick Strong's another one that I really enjoyed seeing him in PWG, seeing what he has done. And man, the Rascals is another one. Myron Reed, that's my guy. Love that guy. Myron Reed is another one that has not given the full opportunity to prove himself, not as an individual singles talent, meaning as in he needs a belt now that he's in AEW. Give him that man the TNT belt. Mark my word, that man will put a banger, and which he has put bangers, and that goes for Zachary Wentz. And, that goes. For even for Trey Miguel, that it goes for all of them. Goes for all four of those, for sure. Nick Wayne's another one. So they have that mentality. They have the mentality to get there, and we don't see them in person and they think about that, but it proves it in the ring. It proves it on the mic. It proves that they could do it. So that's for sure. That is for sure. But man, definitely. Oh man, just today was how to just do it by myself today, folks. Just learn how to do this. So, but man, I appreciate you all for tuning in here and listening as well. But be back here tomorrow for NXT. And yep, even right there, even Steven said it. Yep, AEW has a lot of grasshoppers. They definitely do. They have it. So does NXT. They have it too. And then I'm just, even New Japan has it. Ren Narita, Iuwa, they have so many, up there that I'm excited to see. Common Newman, it's just, there's so much talent, man. They're power hungry. Future. I'll tell you the future. That's for sure. But folks, again, I appreciate you all for joining me here. I was going to make a short episode because it wasn't with me solo, but I know that I derailed here, but that's fine. But again, I appreciate y'all for joining me here very quick on a quick Raw recap and TNA lockdown recap as well. And Mamba Mentality, folks. That's what it's all about. But again, folks, don't forget to come back tomorrow. Come join us for NXT. Watch all along here with the Ruler, and De Niro will be back tomorrow discussing more, heading into, guys, a go-home show for NXT Heatwave. Stay tuned for that. And a lot of things happening here in the channel, folks. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and notification bell. Come join us here 6-7 days a week. Provide you great pro wrestling content, great sports entertainment, good entertainment. And like I said, if we don't discuss, we derail, we're not the hell we're doing. We're in streaming. But until then, folks, much love to you guys. Thank you very much for taking the time. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Stay hydrated out there, people that are dealing with the heat, because I am, because that's why I'm kind of here sweating. It's still 36, about to be it's 7 o'clock here Pacific, and it's still hot. It's still 103. But until then, folks, we discuss, we debate, we derail, we debate, we detonate. But until then, folks, we make history, and so do you. Good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow for NXT. Peace.
Must be juju. Goodbye. Mwah. And good night. Oh my God, it's so...
And together, we make history.
Like a